Hello and welcome to our next video, which will cover the questions carrying 4 marks of paper 1. Now these questions could start with the words outline, explain, identify and explain, or identify. In the first 3 instances, you would need to give the answer and briefly analyze it with application, where the question refers to the case study. If the question is of a general nature, then application is not required. Now, once again, application is reference to any details in the case study. All right. Now, in the last instance, where there is only identify in the question, simply stating the points would suffice. Right now, let's look at the different examples. Now, in this first one, where you have a case study about this girl called Meena, who wants to leave her job as a teacher to become a successful entrepreneur. Her business will produce handmade jewelry. Meena knows that there is a government support for business startups. She plans to use market research to help identify a market segment for the jewelry. Meena's brother has offered to become her business partner, but she cannot decide whether it would be better to operate as a sole trader, right? So now that's the context given to us. The question asked is now outline 2 characteristics Meena will need to become a successful entrepreneur. Now, identifying 2 characteristics would give you marks for the knowledge. Now, in this case, the first characteristic I've identified as risk taker, and the second one here is hardworking. And in this case, because the question refers to the case study, you would have to make sure that the explanation refers to the case study, so that it has the application component to it, right? Now, in this case, the suggested answer here is Meena needs to be a risk taker in order to leave her current job as a teacher. Now, this reference will give you a mark for application. And then we complete the analysis, which has to end with a consequence, some kind of an end impact. What is it for the business or the person involved here? Now, here we would say which offers secure income in order to start a business, which will take time. So starting a business will take time to earn from, but might also fail, creating a loss. So that is explaining the risk component here. Then another suggested answer would be that Meena needs to be hardworking in order to put in sufficient work to research the market to identify a market segment for jewelry. So this gives in the application. And then the impact is so that she's able to market it correctly and make the business successful, right? So 1 mark each for the knowledge and 1 mark for application analysis together here, and another mark for application analysis together here for the second point. Altogether 4. Yay! Alright, let's go into the next one. Here we're talking about Rosa is a successful entrepreneur. Her business makes beauty products that she creates, including hand and face creams. She employs 5 production workers, and Rosa enjoys being in control of everything else, including design and marketing. Rosa uses social networks for promoting the business. She said increasing added value is important. I'm expecting revenue to increase by 300% in 2018. At this rate of growth, I will need a bigger factory. I would like to have customers in other countries. So I hope there are no import quotas. Rosa has to decide whether to continue to expand the business or keep it small. Now the 4 marker here is identify and explain 2 ways Rosa could increase added value, right? Now, if you look at the format of this answer field, it's a slightly older version. What you would normally see is what we saw here in the first one, where you would have the concept and then 4 lines given to you. So right in this one, I have taken the liberty of using all of these fields. Okay, so let's look at 2 ways in which added value could be increased. One is to increase price, right? And the explanation is by increasing the price of the products without raising the costs. The difference between the price and the cost can be increased, thereby increasing added value. Simple. Second one is decreasing cost of goods. By decreasing the cost of goods to make creams and by keeping the price at the same level, the added value can be increased. Now, note, the second point has the knowledge component, has an application, and of course the explanation with the end impact, that's the analysis. So this would get 1 and 1 with these application and analysis together, you would get 2 marks here. But the first one would earn marks for knowledge. However, the explanation does not have an application, no reference to the case study. Now, you could easily get in the application by just replacing products with maybe something like one of these product names here. So they talk about hand and face creams. So you could just say hand cream here, simple. Okay, so please do not forget this. This is a general answer and would not fetch you marks for application. Okay, let's look at the next variant. Talking about color rack manufacturers paint in country Z. It sells its products to customers both nationally and internationally. Color rack uses a specialist transport company to deliver its products to customers. The Color Rack brand is well known. Many of its factory employees are happy at work. They are well paid but lack motivation due to the repetitive nature of their work. Again, the format of the question, the answering field here itself is a pretty old format, so please don't worry about that. Here again, in the newer version, you would have to 4-line field that you just simply have to write in. The question talks about explain how a manufacturing business adds value to its products. Again, it's the same added value, and the answer would go in a similar line as the previous one, by one saying increasing the price of the product. Oh, I made a typo here, but it is increasing the price of the product. And the other one is about decreasing the cost of goods. The difference between the previous question and this one is that here the question is general. It just says explain how a manufacturing business adds value to its products. So it's nothing to do with the business in the case study here. So application is not required by simply saying increasing the price of the products without raising the cost, yada yada yada, you would get the answer. Fine. So this is one of these examples where you need to pay attention to the question, identify whether it's general or applied. Okay, let's go to our last one, where FR is a multinational company. It has hotels in 18 countries. FR wants to expand into a new market and is planning to build another hotel. FR's marketing director is considering how the market can be segmented. FR's financial director is considering which source of finance to use to fund the expansion. He's also constructing a cash flow forecast for the new hotel's first year of trading. Okay, I've had to read out the case studies in all of the examples so that you would understand the application component. Now here again is another example of a general question, how identify 4 ways a market can be segmented. And this is one of the examples I told you, the command verse that I talked about initially, where it just says identify 4 ways. So explanation is not required. And what you would need to do is identify, okay, now we have different methods of segmentation by age, by gender, lifestyle, income, just examples. Here, of course, I would caution you on if this was a question which had an application, you would have to then pay attention to the case study details and pick relevant segmentation methods here. Right now, in this condition, it was fine, because it was a general question. All right. Okay. So I'll meet you again with a few more videos on other question forms. See you later. Bye.